Hey folks, welcome back to Maypole Farm, and it's an interesting December 1 morning that we're going to have a look at. So we've had some messages from Cowshed 2, so let's have a look at that. We've had a pregnancy. Awesome, a cow gave birth. We've had a violation of our red tape slurry policy, so our slurry store is full by the looks of it. Which one is that? Our manure storage is full. Maybe we had a full slurry. We had a full slurry store, didn't we, in November? That's why we've got this guy here. So yeah, it's all coming back to me now. There's a song in that, isn't there? There is. There's a song in that. So we lost 4 points for that. We gained points for not contaminating the water. We cut an tree down. I guess, is that the hedge counting as that, maybe? Every animal conditions is good. We didn't spread any slurry, which was good, which is why we had our slurry issues. Our manure management, we're not doing great on because we don't have a way of dealing with that. Coming soon, TM. Crop rotation, animal space, we are good currently, I think. Animal feed, we're good. Schemes. Natural grazing, reduced bale wrapping, we're not going to pick up. We're currently doing okay on our natural fertilizing stuff. Tax wise, we owe 5 grand. Okay, that's fine. And that's all okay. And we don't have any grants applied for, but we might be applying for one today. So let's have a quick check of the old animals. They have a full manure thing, which might mean they're not going to be producing milk, but we can deal with that in a little while. They're okay for feed because I have fed them and then slept. We've got quite a lot of milk, which is good because that means we can access some more money if we need to. I'm going to skip a little bit of time and get to daylight because we're going to be doing some building today. That is the focus of today's video, is to work on the new, I guess, industrial area. So what we're going to do is jump up to there. Well, not literally jump because I'm not feeling particularly energetic, but do that. And so let's see if we can move this trailer with this truck. I'm not sure we'll be able to. So last video we spent moving sugar beet basically, and planting grass. No, I guess we can't. That's slightly annoying. So we might need to bring up an tractor. But I'm not actually sure where I want to place things. So we are going to be putting in a BGA. I think we're going to use the concrete cow, not fast cow, because the concrete cow is pretty quick anyway. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen that beastie. So let's put on free mode. Let's put on snapping. And where do we want to place this? Probably at the back of the plot, I would have thought, but maybe not. Maybe we want to... We've opened that up, didn't we? But I wonder if maybe we want to place things... Does that not line up with the angle grid? I've maybe forgotten how everything works in the game. There we go. Feels like forever since I've played on here. So, yeah. I did not at all have to look up the key to switch the lights on to feed things. Nope. No, I did not. Yeah, it doesn't quite want to line up with the hedge, does it? We could go to free mode, I guess. Freedom! Very tired. Very tired, folks. So we could do something like that. Or we could go for something like that. Or we could... I do own the land, sir. We could move the truck out of the way and we could put it back here. So what else do we want to put on this plot of land? I'm rambling because it's what I do, I guess. And shed might not be a bad idea. What sheds do we have? I own the freaking land. Okay, chill. Something like that might not be a bad idea. Something like that might not be a bad idea. It's only 29 grand. What else have we got installed? Nope, don't like those. Wow, they're expensive. Nope, nope, thank you. No, thank you, sir. 25 grand for that big old beastie. You know, if I hadn't put sugar beet in the back there, I mean, that's... I'm not averse to that, you know. That's a big old shed. Where would we put the BGA if we put that there? So we could put that there and put the BGA over by where the truck is. You can't see me pointing. So if I put that there... BGA would fit there. We'd struggle to fit in any kind of clamp, I think. Well, we've got something like that. That's quite small, isn't it? It's compact and bijou. We've got this guy. We recognize this shed, don't we, folks? Yes, we do. Should I quite like that guy? Quite like that. If we wanted to store some stuff up here, quite like that. Yep. We recognize this fella. Yep. This was the building that was used in the improvised animals shed because it's a giant's shed. God, the camera does not want to behave today, or I'm just incompetent. Do not answer that. No, we don't like that. Right, other things we need to think about. Silos. So do we want to put in another clamp up here? Quite like this one. It's from the Highlands Fishing Expansion. Wow, Giant's doing something that I like. Who'd have thunk it, eh? Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, I'm not averse to that. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I wish I hadn't put those sugar beets there. And what I'm thinking is, why does that keep saying area restricted? I wonder if it's because it's the edge of the map. Or if it's because of all those boxes there. It's the edge of the map. That's going to be really freaking annoying. Let's move this truck out of the way. Could it be the boxes? Could it be the boxes? They shouldn't. I bet it's because it's the edge of the map. don't own that land, which is an issue, obviously. 1 second, folks. Well, I very, very quickly went and got the Merlot, obviously, to move all of those. Yep, that's how we did that. Yep, 100% how we moved those. Still saying area restricted. That's a manure store. That's a bunker. Or hay. Interesting that you can put hay in it. Still saying area restricted, which is really frustrating. I wonder if say the same thing for the biogas plant. It did. So we can only build on about half of this area, which is really annoying. Overlaps with another object. All right. You need to be gone. But it's the hedge as well. That's going to be even more annoying. Let's get me out of the way as well. Oh no, so now we're good. So it's just like that much of it overlaps with another object. Okay. Right. So I think BGA wise, the land is owned by me. So it's the hedge. Doesn't like the hedge. I think what we do is we back the BGA up and get it as much into the corner as we can. So I'm going to turn on that and that. And actually what we're going to do first, because we're about to do construction, is we're going to save the game. Always save the game before you do construction, folks. Come on. Save the game, please, computer. Thank you. Right, back into construction mode. So, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do free mode. We're going to do snapping on. And, yes, I do own the land. Thank you very much. So that's as close as we can get it, which is a little bit annoying, but lavvy. We have an BGA. Let's have a look at it, because I don't remember how it works, because it's been a while. So we've got silage, manure, and slurry. Probably not. Sugar beet, manure, and slurry. That's probably the recipe we want to be running. So that takes in 300 litres of sugar beet, 400 litres of manure, and 300 litres of slurry. That sounds pretty good to me. Sugar beet, manure, and digestate. No. So the way this BGA works, if you've not seen it before, yes, it's a bit more complex than the standard BGAs in that it's designed to work like a real BGA, in that you need an energy substance, you need a roughage substance, and you need liquid for the fermentation to work. And so in the example that I'm looking at up here, you've got sugar beet for energy, you've got manure for roughage, and slurry as the fermentation liquid. Most BGAs will constantly have digestate in them. But yeah, so, and this in theory is more profitable than a basic BGA, but yeah. So we'll need to bring up the manure and the slurry. I guess based on that, we should think about some storage for some slurry. Do I have installed What are you? You're a open manure pit, 80,000 litres. Okay. You're the covered manure pit for 120. I wonder if I can tip into that. I kind of doubt it. What I'm looking for is new shaft for liquid manure. These tanks are used to store liquid manure temporarily. £30,000. I think that would be a good purchase. Although, how much? Remind myself. This will hold 100. This will hold 75,000 litres of slurry. Yeah, 75,000 litres of slurry. So yeah, I think we probably want some more slurry storage. So, old shaft, new shaft. Let's... Now, the thing that I'm going to do is... Actually, I'll just make sure it doesn't do the sharing. Area restricted, overlaps with another object. B4, don't be annoying. So if we put the slurry tank there, obviously it's an underground tank, it's how it holds so much. I just need to make sure that it doesn't share with the BGA, because otherwise we'll get cheaty infinite slurry and digestate, and I don't want that. So we'll buy that. We are at the point where we don't have enough money. Now, we'll get more money from selling milk, but I think what we should do next is concentrate on getting this running. So, we need to be shifting some manure. We need to be shifting some, not digestate, some slurry. And we need to be loading the sugar beets. So, how are we going to do all of that? Well, gentle viewer, what we're going to do are be things that be against the laws of physics. So, somewhere I have an front weight, which is going to allow us to, there it is, it's actually a back weight, but that's okay. Now we could really do with selling a whole load of milk, but I don't want to rely on sending auto drive and the truck, because it got stuck last time, so you know. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick up this rather heavy weight, and that's going to allow us to do some physics things. Now, I'm an engineer, so you can trust me, okay? This is going to be fine. It's going to be absolutely fine. I've done the structural assessments, and it says that actually towing this full of 65,000 litres of slurry is absolutely fine. Yeah, these are actually, although, you know, most people will tell you that what you're supposed to do is put these in a field and then take a tanker to them and fill them static. Actually, I've done the assessments, and really what you can do with them is drive them around fully loaded, and it's absolutely fine. You know, they won't even slosh or spread slurry everywhere. It's absolutely fine. Now, ideally, you might want a heftier tractor for towing such a load, but really that's completely optional. You know, it's absolutely fine. I think in the future you're going to see farmers doing this kind of thing. just because it's really utter common sense. It's utter common sense to be doing this. So yeah. Before we fire up the BGA, I am going to make sure that it doesn't have... I think it's set up already to be this way, but I do want to make sure that it doesn't have the share silo extension set, so that we don't get the infinite slurry. I'm pretty sure I've already fixed that, but I will check. So we don't get the infinite slurry bug. Hey, slurry bugs, they're a thing, aren't they? Get me. I know me farming terminology. So yeah, so if you haven't seen it already, because hopefully I'm going to get this video out tomorrow. I don't know, it's currently 9 PM, I'm away in a hotel. Who knows if I will actually get it uploaded in time, but there is a survey running on the community tab. I've had to use SurveyMonkey. I wanted to just do it as a poll. So if you're on Patreon, there is a poll running on the Patreon page, because Patreon lets me do the poll that I want to do. I wanted to do a poll where you could select multiple options, and YouTube will only let you do a 4-choice poll, and you can only pick one option. So I couldn't use YouTube's built-in polling thing, so I've had to use SurveyMonkey, because I want to find out what you guys enjoy watching, because so life is slowly starting to slow down a bit, but before I go back to headlong into making YouTube videos, I want to see what people actually enjoy, because I don't think I want to go back to trying to make all of the videos I was trying to make before, because that was sometimes a bit stressful. So I want to see what people enjoy, and then reevaluate what I'm actually trying to do with YouTube. So if you haven't already, go fill that in, because it will affect what I do, and I'm going to let it run for a few days, and then I'll probably do a little video on what the results were, or at least a community post. But now, will we be able to unload from this straight into the BGA? Because the triggers are a bit funky with slurry trailers and stuff. It's just a thing, because it's all standard Giants triggers. They're just sometimes a bit funky. I could never get it fixed. So we'll see, I guess. Is it going into the BGA? It is. Awesome. So that'll pretty much fill the BGA. We then need to bring manure up. Now we can leave this here. I mean, it's probably worth us hanging on to it, because we've still got a fair bit of slurry to shift. And as I said, I've done all the structural engineering surveys to ensure that this is absolutely fine to use as a slurry tanker temporarily. So what we'll do is we'll drop that there. We'll grab the trailer. We'll go grab some manure. And then I guess either release one of the belts again to pick up sugar beet. That might be the way to go, because we've got a fair bit of sugar beet to shift, and we get the BGA running, and having the BGA running will obviously generate us a shed load of cash, which will allow us to invest in more stuff up here. And we've also got like 30 odd grand's worth of milk. If we check time saving stock check, we have 55 grand's worth of milk. So, you know, we're getting into a position where actually financially we're doing reasonably well, which is nice. You know, it's nice. The good thing is, probably we need to be expanding the kit we have on the farm, to be completely honest, because things were a little bit hectic towards the end of the farming season last time around. So we do want to be looking at getting another decent tractor. And I did talk last time, I really want to get a 6R. And hopefully the point we're getting to will allow that. I think probably we need to be looking at more land because the cows are eating through all of the food. So actually probably another permanent pasture would be useful. Yeah. So there's plenty we actually need to be spending the money on that we're making to stay profitable. But the BGA now should help out a lot with A, dealing with the output of the animals, and 2, making money for us. So now, if you are new to this series of videos, if you've jumped in partway through, you may be wondering why so few cows are such hard work, and that is because I am running edited feeding, because base game animals in farm sim are boring, and you need to have stupid numbers to make them interesting. So what I did at the start of this series is edit the amount of food that the animals required and the amount of stuff they produced to be a lot like Maize Plus Animal Food Editions. So the cows eat ridiculous amounts and produce ridiculous amounts. So yeah, the numbers are pretty much in line with FS22 Animal Food Editions numbers for Maize Plus. And then I have feeding adjusted to be vaguely in line with that. Now there are no videos of me explaining how I did that, basically because I couldn't be bothered with the I've copied exactly how you said to do that and it didn't work comments, because so often people just didn't actually listen to what I was saying in those videos, and they watched like the first 30 seconds and thought they understood how to do it and then didn't. Then it's like, well, if you watch the whole video, you missed steps 3 to 10, and steps 1 and 2 don't give you the answer. And yeah, I got really fed up with that kind of stuff in FS22, which is why I stopped doing them in FS25. They caused me so much unneeded stress. So I set it all up for this, and I've been playing with it and having a lot of fun. But yeah, so one of you did work out how to do it with one little bit of guidance, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, and I think with some of the mods that are available now let you do some of it quite easily, so it's not so much of a mystery these days. But you know, and that's not me gatekeeping or being difficult. Literally, I don't need extra stress in my life, particularly at the moment, and as nice as it was to try and help people play the game, the stress that came from the awkward people that came with doing all the tutorials just caused me so much unneeded hassle, which is why I haven't done them. And I spoke of that a lot about that at the end of FS22. It's not been great for my YouTube channel, to be completely honest, because it's not done anywhere near as well in FS25 as it did in FS22, but I've had a lot less YouTube related stress, which has been nice. So yeah, had a lot of real world stress, which has been less nice, but hey, just seems to be the way things go. Hey, you know, there's always stress in life. There's always stress in life. Now, I don't know, you might not be able to tell because I'm really quite tired this evening, but life is getting less stressful. I think I mentioned that's why I'm asking you what done the poll, so that as I get back to wanting to make YouTube videos rather than needing to make YouTube videos. I want to focus more on the things people enjoy, because I don't want to go back to trying to make all of the videos. I want to try and find a more healthy balance than at times trying to produce, 12 videos a week. It's not good. So, and it's some of it's obvious to me. People really like Beaver. I know some of you really don't like Beaver, and I'm not judging your lifestyle choices at all. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, and I have this really weird mental dilemma that a lot of my really long-term supporters come from Farm Sim, and so it's like, and I really enjoy playing this game still. So I never really chase the algorithm, and a bit of my brain is rewarded by the little bits of dopamine. So when I think about dropping a series and then someone goes, oh, I really, really like it, you're still making these videos, I go, oh, someone likes it. So yeah, I don't know. I find it really hard once I start making videos on a game to drop them. I think ATS has been the only counter to that argument, in that it was a game that I started playing and making videos on and then stopped. I think that's been about the only one that I've done. And I think that's because that's the Truck Simulator series of games has been a series of games that in my life, don't kick the microphone stand, there's been a series of games in my life that I've picked up and dropped and picked up and dropped. So when I started making the videos on YouTube, I was going through a phase of playing ATS, and then I kind of stopped wanting to play it, and so naturally I kind of stopped making videos on it, because I was then having to play it to make videos, but I wasn't playing it outside of that. And whereas most of the other games that I play for YouTube, I play outside of playing for YouTube. It's like Timberborn, I will quite often have another save running, or I will play the saves that I'm making videos on outside of making videos on to progress them. The Kinlag videos came from the fact that I wanted to play another save, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute, I can make videos from these. But I just wanted to play the game more. And PMR, I haven't played that in a while, to be honest, just because where I've been busy, because that's a game I have to be focused on to play. But I was making videos on that because I was enjoying playing it, and I was playing that outside of making videos. Schedule 1, not so much lately, but for a long time, yeah, I was playing that outside of making videos on it as well. Yeah, so it's, and so the game I'm playing the most at the moment, and I'm not going to make videos on it because I kind of suck at it, and therefore I don't think they would be very enjoyable videos. Although I suck at PMR, and I don't care really. And also I just enjoy playing a game for hours and hours and hours and hours and not thinking about it being for YouTube. Is Kerbal Space Program. I've mentioned it a couple times. That game has saved my brain over the last, I don't know, I can't remember when I bought it, but I've played now, I think, nearly 200 hours, and Now, those of you that work from home know that sometimes working from home will allow you to rack up hours playing video games. Maybe, sometimes. Lately, I have had no time for that kind of thing. So those 200 hours have been evenings and weekends. As like most of my weekends lately have been almost solidly playing Kerbal Space Program, to the detriment of me achieving things like basic self-care and eating and housework and things. And I'm not joking when I say eating. There have been many days in the last amount of time, and I'm not going to say how long, where I have maybe got to the evening and realized that I have not eaten. I've been addressing that. That's not just because of playing Kerbal Space Program. Stress has made some of my neurodivergent symptoms way worse. So yes. Right, we have slurry, we have manure, we need sugar beets. I am going to go for leasing the belt, because that's just going to make my life infinitely easier. And right now I am all for easy life. Easy life, happy me. So we need belt systems. We are going to lease this guy. I should probably hire purchase one of these, but we're just going to lease it for now. And let's get that stuck there, get that lifted up. So I'm still having some problems with some of the controls for things. Now that is going to be you, no, you, yeah. The keyboard equivalent of that control does not work currently. It's really annoying. I've probably just managed to unmap it, or I've got a conflict with a mod that I've got installed, but I just haven't got around to looking at what it is. So. Or it might be that it just isn't mapped on, it conflicts on that, because I think it's only on that it's an issue. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's only on that it's an issue. So maybe it's just something on that mod that's not behaving. Anyway, we can start to make some money, which is great. Carrollton. I suspect I've missed. No. So we need to look at selling our carrots this month, but we're not going to do that tonight because I'm kind of knackered, to be honest. So we'll get the BGA running, and I might just call it a day, folks. I have no idea how long this video is at this point. It is not massively long. That's about 40 minutes actually. 40 minutes of quality content or random rambling. Utter bollocks. One or t'other. Actually, you're going to lose game sound, but while that trailer's filling up, let's have a quick look at the XML for the BGA. Now, you can't see what I'm doing, which really isn't very helpful, is it? But what we're looking for is some stuff in one of the XML files. Now, it's under the mini BGA XML concrete cow, and no, I don't want to update you, Notepad++. And so they don't share their throughput capacity with this one, so we can't run multiple cycles, which is good to note. Selling stake my peers, supports extension, false. That is what we want. So we are good for not having the infinite slurry bug. So no slurry bugs in here, thank you very much. And what I didn't look at was how fast this will run, but we can look at that in here. So that's fine. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be adequately fast. So let's tip that in there. And this is the one we are going to want to run. And we're looking at 240 cycles a month. So if I get my calculator, actually I saw there was a mod for in-game calculator, which I thought was utterly brilliant. Very clever little addition. But if we look at 240 cycles a month, so times 300, so we're looking at 72,000 litres of sugar beet and slurry a month. And 400 times 240, 96,000 litres of manure. So that's pretty nice. Now we were going to run out of sugar beet. So that kind of sucks. So we might need a lot more silage. We're going to need a lot more silage, I think, folks, to keep that running. And then I'm going to need to remember how to use this. So I think we just activate that, and that sells the electric charge. I think. God, it's been so long, but let's activate that guy. Output mode is on distributing, storing. I mean, we might as well just have it on. No, because we want to keep the digestate. So let's have it on storing, and then we will sell the electric charge in a big old lump. Maybe next video. But I think, folks, that is going to be it for today. What I might do, there's a few things we need to do, actually. We need to sell milk. We need to let this process and load more stuff up. But next time, maybe we'll do some bale moving, so that we can add in the moisture system. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Appreciate the support from patrons and the YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. And don't forget to go check out the link to the survey on the community page on YouTube. See you next time, folks.